Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a video based on like having a winning mindset when it comes to your health, nutrition, and exercise, and like having that same mentality an athlete has. And I know some people like think of that and be like, hey, I'm not an athlete, why should I think like that? Well, it's pretty important the way they apply their type of thinking. Well, successful athletes are successful for not only the reasons of like their nutrition and their skills, but also that mindset to keep going through. So it's important to kind of have that if you want success. And this is like why people see success in programs and their friends will do the same program and won't see as much success. So they got that winning mindset, and it's pretty important to apply. So I got here on my whiteboard, this might be familiar, like that meme you might see online. You got that person reaching out for something and then there's reality right behind them. So this just represents someone and their goals. They're starting right there. They've sussed out a plan, their results they've mapped out, that's what they want to achieve. So they got like a straight path, and then you got reality right behind you, everyday stuff that can set you back. And we all got different things that can set us back or like just derail us from our path. It's just a natural thing. There's always like an opposite reaction to positive action, you know? So like just dealing with that. And this is where like that athlete kind of mindset or that winning mindset kind of like plays a big part, because then you can deal with this stuff a lot better. So like it's all good and all having these mapped out, but if you don't have that mindset, you're probably more likely to derail yourself. But you don't want to do that. So having some kind of mindset winning wise is pretty important. So starting off, nutrition and exercise, think more like an athlete. So what I mean by that is like you'll get an athlete and they'll treat themselves to like a donut or something and they won't feel guilty. You give a donut to an everyday person and they'll feel guilty and they'll create some unhealthy habits like fasting too long, or they'll be coming to the gym 3 times a day, 2 times a day, just hammering themselves out again, thinking that they can undo the damage. What you need to do really is just take ownership and be like an athlete, thinking, okay, I've treated myself, cool, I'm back on track. I don't have that guilt anymore. Just keep going. You know, you are allowed to treat yourself, and this is one area where people trip up and feel guilty, and come Monday, they just go flat tack. You see it Monday. Go to gyms on Monday, Tuesday, it's packed for a reason, because people usually blow themselves out Saturday, Sunday. But you shouldn't feel guilty if you've like let yourself go a bit. Just get back on track and you'll be alright. Have that attitude of like, well, I deserved it. The difference between feeling guilty and ownership, well, I pretty much covered that same as like above. Again, applying that mindset and just instead of feeling guilty about something, just own it and move forward. You know, even with a pathway, you need to stray a bit to move forward. So when I talk about that, you got your clear path. Sometimes like you might get weaknesses or like an injury will happen and you got a plan and like your trainer's giving you something that you can't do at the moment because like you got an injury. That doesn't mean like you have to completely stop. Just do what you can do, you know. Just regress exercises until you've rehabbed yourself, or like if you're not feeling 100%, don't go to the intensities that your trainer's given you. You know, you could always like stray from the path to move forward. So don't be afraid to make little changes to keep going forward. Again, if you got a trainer, just talk with them about what you're dealing with. Big part of what we're doing as trainers, we should be like getting in touch with you, like making sure we know how you're physically moving and how you're physically doing and how like your mindset is doing as well. So yeah, don't be scared to stray a bit to move forward. It's better than moving backwards. So lots of measurements for success, another big one. Rather than just focusing on the weight itself on the scales, taking girth measurements, heart rate measurements, and just judging by distances you're going or like weight that you're lifting. There's so many different types of measurements relating to all types of goals. And you should have plenty, because like most of you know, the weights on the scales are going to go up and down. You're going to have times where you're a lot stronger and times when you're feeling weaker. So it's all about having those little successes and little measurements you can go through and just be like, hey, I might not be lifting as much at the moment because I'm not feeling well, but like this is where I'm achieving stuff at the moment. So it's always important to have that, in that way you're feeling still having that winning mindset. Whereas if you have one measurement for success, you're kind of bottlenecking yourself. You're still going to get somewhere, but you're not really seeing it. So yeah, celebrate the small steps. So this is a big one. Always like celebrate the little steps rather than just focus on getting to the end and celebrate that. So some people just coming into the gym, celebrate that you made it in. You feel awful, but you still came in. You did something like whether it's regressed or whether it's stuck to the program. Just celebrate those smaller steps on the way, and that will help you in retaining that winning mindset. And then when you have that winning mindset like an athlete, this stuff isn't above it and you keep moving forward. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Cool.